You open the app without thinking. A face you vaguely know. A vacation you weren't invited on. A promotion announcement wrapped in a humble caption. You put the phone down, and somehow you feel worse about your own life than you did 30 seconds ago. Nothing in your life changed, but something in your brain did. And the real reason it happened is far stranger than you think. What you just experienced is not a modern problem. It is not the product of social media or advertising or the attention economy. The mechanism behind it is older than language, older than memory. It is wired into the deepest architecture of your mind because for most of human history, it kept you alive. Here is what your brain actually did when you picked up that phone. It ran a calculation, automatically, without asking your permission. It scanned a social signal, measured the person in that image against an internal model of where you stand, and flagged a gap. Not out of jealousy, not out of insecurity, out of survival logic inherited from ancestors who lived in groups of 50 people and had about 48 hours to figure out where they ranked before it determined whether they ate, mated, or got left behind. That word, gap, matters, because what your brain detected was not difference. Difference is neutral. What it detected was deficit, a shortfall, a signal that someone else had more of something that your deep evolutionary programming codes as scarce and valuable. And when the brain detects a deficit in a social comparison, it does not respond the way it responds to, say, noticing that the sky is a different shade of blue than yesterday. It responds the way it responds to a warning. The same circuits that light up when you sense physical danger also activate when your social standing appears threatened. The experience of social comparison pain is not metaphorical. It is neurological. The behavior has a name. Leon Festinger identified it in 1954. He called it social comparison theory. His finding was simple and brutal. Human beings have a fundamental drive to evaluate their own abilities and status by comparing themselves to other people, not to objects, to other humans. Festinger believed the drive exists because there is no objective scale for how well you are doing. You cannot measure ambition with a ruler, so your brain does what it always does in the absence of hard data. It looks sideways. But Festinger only explained the mechanism. The question he did not fully answer is why the drive runs so deep. Why does a mismatch between your life and someone else's feel like a threat, not just an observation? Why does your nervous system respond to a stranger's promotion the way it might respond to a predator stepping out of the trees? Why does the sensation linger for hours when the stimulus lasted seconds? To understand that, you have to go back. Not decades, not centuries, thousands of years. Inside that band, your rank determined access to food, mates, and protection. A small shift in standing could change every outcome. So the brain built a gap detector, a system that fired when someone nearby had more of something valuable. Not jealousy, survival. The restlessness you feel after seeing someone else's success is that system working exactly as designed. The problem is the mismatch. It was built for 50 people. You are exposing it to billions, most showing only their peaks. Your brain cannot tell a real person from a highlight reel. The person whose life triggered your drop went home and felt the same thing. The engine runs in everyone. You opened the app without thinking. The comparison ran without asking. But now you know what it was. And that might be the strangest, most useful thing your brain has ever told you about itself.